Hey lovers. Oh, I got a limit on my camera, so let me make this quick. Welcome to Sacred Soulmates. I'm your goddess Euphoria. Over here we celebrate divine, sacred love, which begins with love of self, not to be selfish, but to be self-actualized, so that you know that you are firmly rooted in a solid base of love within yourself, balanced in that, and only from that space can you attract someone who will also meet your standards of love. Okay. And I read on the chakras from the crown to the root, not touching all chakras, but the mainstream ones. And first up at the top, what's crowning the reading, which is basically at the top of mine right now, and what divine wisdom is wanting to impart upon you, is a quest. And what's most prominent about this energy to me is that it's like you are on your spiritual journey, you're going about your business, and you come to, let's say, a fork in the road where you're not exactly sure which pathway to take. It's like you have one of two decisions, basically. It's kind of giving ultimatum energy, but not someone giving you an ultimatum. We've already discussed that. If you have somebody trying to give you an ultimatum, that's somebody that you probably just don't need to move forward with, because that's kind of like a method of control. I'm talking about like, you may find yourself getting tongue twisted. We are gearing up, probably in the pre-shadow phase of a Mercury retrograde, and that retrograde energy is present here because, as I was saying, it's like you're at a fork in the road where you want to make a decision, but those who are not aware of the way that everything else is communicating with you, if you're not aware of what nature is communicating with you, of what spirit is communicating with you, of what just evidence or what's real, of what reality is communicating to you, if you're somebody who has your head like off in the sand here, then you'll miss it and you'll just be like clinging to what you want things to be instead of facing the reality of what is from a balanced perspective. And people who struggle with like self-love, they usually don't make decisions from a balanced perspective. They will make it from a selfish perspective because they're making decisions out of like survival. So you may be dealing with someone, it sounds like a karmic twin flame type energy, who just goes with what their mind tells them. It's like you may be around somebody who just believes whatever their own mind tells them, which is not a healthy state of mind to be in when you can't pause and allow confirmation. But for the person who is like really doing the spiritual work, you may be at a place right now where you may have a little bit of confusion about who you want to move forward with and who you want to keep communicating with and connecting to, or just like what place you want to be, if you want to relocate, if you want to move in with somebody. Just these kind of decisions where it's like, okay, either I do or I don't. It's that type of decision. When I say ultimatum, that's the kind of energy that I'm getting. Not something that someone forced on you, but just for your own good. What's the best decision for me? And I'm getting that as somebody who does know how to yield to spirit, and you allow confirmation to come to you. And that's helpful because especially when retrogrades are about to come around and people are making these decisions and, just gung-ho about believing what it is that their mind tells them is true, they'll find themselves during the retrograde trying to like be desperately undoing mistakes that they've made because they weren't paying attention to the signs that were leading them. With this quest energy, it is blue, so that is like the throat chakra. It's something about either who you're communicating with. It could have been like an argument you had sometime recently, and you're wondering, do I call this person back or do I make amends? Or you stop speaking to speaking to someone, you're wondering, do I keep them blocked or do I unblock them? It's like that type of energy here. And again, like, wait for confirmation. If you're still in a state of not knowing, then you don't need to move forward, because if you move forward, then you're going to take that confusion energy with you, and you don't want to be in that confusion energy. You also something about being tongue tied. Like if you're speaking to someone, it's like your words just can't get out, or you can't find the right words, or you just, I don't know, it's like you can't vocalize what it is that you're actually feeling. It's probably because you haven't sat with the feeling long enough to really even know how to talk about it. So when you're in a state of uncertainty like that, it's best to just get quiet. The quietness is leading us into this third eye chakra position, which is represented by the hermit. And that is like a self-understanding, a self-knowledge, being led from within, from your intuition. And that's the best thing to do when you come into those places where should I or shouldn't I? Do I or don't I? Is you is or is you ain't, my baby. Like that type of energy when you have heavy decisions, you need to weigh them up. And when you get on the scale, it don't just automatically, give you the answer. Like you got to do some calculations if it's digital, or if it's the, old analog, old school scale, you got to move some things around. Like sit in that space, but you still have to stand strong on your own 2 feet in that space. Or like you still have to sit with yourself in that space. And sometimes that's all it takes. Like just sit with yourself for a few days before you make a decision. Especially like the bigger the decision is, or the more rush that somebody tries to put on it, the longer you need to sit with just the decision. Because if it's like a big decision that's going to affect like the trajectory of your life with that quest card, that's like trajectories, then you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to commit to something that you don't actually want to happen. So sit with it in the hermit phase, and you don't want to have a lot of people around you influencing you. You don't want to listen to just man's word. When in that book of Half Lies, Half Truths, when it says lean not to your own understanding, that's what I'm saying about like you just going for something because that's just what you want to happen. That's like foolish manifesting. And with this third eye chakra, it's all about being able to visualize and being able to see the cues out in nature that are guiding you in the direction that you want to go. You have to allow spirit, or your higher power, your spirit guides, your ancestors, just social cues or whatever, or wait for proof of something. Wait for the perfect opportunity. Hold out for better negotiations. Something like that, about waiting until you get the thing that really satisfies you inwardly. And it can't be what somebody is like pressuring you to do. It has to be what you want to do. Do I want to move in with this person? Do I want to accept this proposal? Do I want to get married? Like, if you have cold feet, you got them for a reason. Sit with that. Don't just say, oh, I have cold feet, but I really want to get married, so I'm just going to go do it. There's a reason why you felt that pause. And you need to sit with that. What is that that's giving you pause like that? Sit with it. In the throat chakra position, which is going to coincide with that quest card that came out in the crown, is the Two of Coins. It's like, kicking around your options. Sometimes you just have to talk yourself through it, or pray yourself through it. But personally, I say that prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation is when you listen. So I don't like do the traditional getting down on my knees and saying a rehearsed prayer, or, Our Father who art in heaven. I don't do that type of prayer. I'm not against it, but my prayer is just, you would think I'm talking to myself, but I guess I am talking to myself. I'm talking to the divine balance within, but I'm talking it out. In the process of me saying something out loud, that's me talking it out, and talk it out. If you need to speak with an unbiased third party, like a therapist or something like that, or you want to go to a confessional, or even if you just be talking things out, or like on your YouTube channel and stuff, that helps me a lot when I go back and watch a video and see something I said, and later upon review, which is that retrograde energy, later on you go back and review things, it's like, dang, that's the answer right there. It was right there all along. I just maybe wasn't paying it enough attention right now, or at that moment. So, just kind of tinker with things with the Two of Coins. It's like, see, he's like kind of just kicking around balls, just leisurely. Ain't nobody out there with him. A big thing in this whole spread of cards, everybody here, except for the person who was at this fork in the road and is in front of this kind of spiritual figure here, is alone, aside from that spiritual figure offering one of two trajectories, which is basically like fate. If you want to, give it a name of who that person is, it's like fate, Fate. But other than that, it's just, independent, single solo people. But you are the person who knows what's best for you. Like, you can't allow somebody else to like pressure a decision for you, or try to like press you into making a decision at the time that they want you to make a decision, or press you into coming to their aid when they want you to, or wanting you to unblock them, or you to move in with them, or whatever it is. You can't be forced to do anything until you are certain within yourself. Free will is definitely a thing. And we have a lot of these major arcana energies. I just said free will, and the next card is the heart chakra, and it's the world. It takes every kind of people to make this world go round. So I don't know if you're just being introduced into new environments, or a new position, new job, new city, new relationship, new friend group, whatever the case may be, new family members you're meeting. There's a newness here, in evolution. Revolution and evolution. So things may had to shake up because like there was some type of maybe argument where somebody tried to give you an ultimatum, or tried to force your hand to do something that they wanted you to do. Or it could just be that the evolution, you are of a more mature understanding now. You're like a renewed person, especially having done so much work on your spiritual journey. So you're meeting these new opportunities or these new people, and you may still have a little bit of kind of, just leftover survival instinct left there, where you're just like kind of pausing and wondering, okay, let me just kind of check the scene a little bit. Let me just make sure that this is actually a world I want to step into, if this is a portal I want to go through. But with the green energy here, and green is associated with the heart chakra, but it's like watering something that is healthy for you. So again, giving yourself time to know what it is that you want to apply your energy to that is going to actually work out well for you. You don't want to jump into a relationship just because you want to get, you don't want to be single no more, or it's cuffing season. That's like exterior validation and outside input that's leading your decision. You want to make sure that this is actually something that is going to be good for you, and that is going to help your evolution. It's going to help you grow and progress throughout life. It's going to help you further down the road on your journey. Don't let it be something that you get into and it end up being a setback for you. Maturity, like older men, maybe somebody's thinking about dating an older person. That could be what's on the top of your mind right now. Should I be in a relationship with somebody who is so much older than me, or who is so much more experienced than me, or our lifestyles are so much different? Maybe you do come from two different worlds, and you're trying to figure out, like, how do I find my balance in this new place? Again, that's one of those things where you just gotta take your time and sit within yourself, and consult your spirit guides and ancestors and your higher power, and make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to water you. It's going to water your garden and help you grow, and not be in a state of insecurity once you get into this new environment, or once you get around this new person or new people, a new mate, or especially if they have like a different set of friends in a different tax bracket, or they live in a different city and you would have to relocate to be with them. You have to think about just, the whole 360. What would that look like for me? Sit with that and figure out what is best for your prosperity. We have the Empress here in the solar plexus position. I so love the colors on this. Now, she has like parts of her swimsuit is that green energy from the world. So it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like body images. Somebody may be having like body image, concerns, or wondering, am I the type of person that they're going to want to be around? You come from this place where everybody looks a certain way, and I don't look like that. Like, am I going to get there and then these people are disrespecting me or throwing me shade and stuff? Not saying that you are insecure about it, but you just want to make sure that whoever you're dealing with is really there to protect your heart and going to want to help you grow. If it is like a weight issue or something, or it's like a bodily issue where you want to, like, a breast lift, or, you want your butt done, or you want a rib yanked out, whatever the case may be, is like you want to look your best, but you also want to remain healthy, both physically and mentally. And if somebody is going to help you, let's say, get in a gym with you and y'all do couples workouts, that's good, good thing for both of y'all. But if this person is kind of like, they can love your body, but when they bring you around their family like saying crazy stuff like, "Ooh, you done got bigger than you were last year," like stuff like that, and then they don't check their family, that's not going to be good for you. It don't matter how much you like your body. You don't let nobody else be disrespecting your partner like that. So these are things you just have to think about. And sometimes you do have to tinker a little bit. You do have to wait around and kind of, maybe go to a few kickbacks with this person, or go on a few more dates and just be around this person more, to kind of see what type of lifestyle you be walking into, because you don't never want nobody to like make you feel less than. You've built yourself up, and you want to continue to build yourself up so that you can pour into other people, not so that people can be siphoning off of your energy and making you feel bad about yourself. Again, you didn't do all of this work, come all of this way on your spiritual journey just to be torn down by some relationship. That's just not what we do over here at Sacred Soulmates. But the Empress card is here, so it's like, the female physique is very heavy here. It's like a motherly figure, mom body. I'm kind of seeing how people were like talking about Ashanti's body, and stuff after she had her baby. This is something that you may be considering if somebody wants to have children at this time. Like, maybe you thought you were past your childbearing years and you don't want to mess up your body, or you already have children and you ain't interested in going back through their process again. That's your decision to make. Regardless of what your partner wants, that's your body. You came here in that body, you're going to leave here in that body, and it's completely up to you. So you have to be certain about your decision, because you don't want to be in a state of resentment later. And retrograde often does kick up a lot of resentment. when people realize that they made choices just based off of what a partner wanted and not what they personally wanted for themselves. You don't want to look back and be like, I resent you because I didn't go on to be a model, because, I just laid up here and had your baby and now my body don't look like it used to. You don't want the type of resentment, because that's going to affect you and your child's life and the relationship. And it's a whole karmic fallout on that, because you still have to take accountability for putting that much trust in somebody else's decision versus having your own decision. In the sacral position, it's 5 of baskets, and this is like a fear of loss, or, some say crying over spilled milk. This is personally cracked eggs. Somebody done dropped some eggs, but look, they still have a whole bunch of eggs, a whole batch of them motherfuckers sitting up on the ledge. So it's like, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you just absolutely would not be happy with? You need to make those clear. And if you're not certain of those things, then you will need more time in kind of a hermit mode to visualize what it is that you do and what you don't want, to explore the pros and cons so that you can verbalize those things, so that you can make sure that y'all both on one accord, moving forward in harmony, and that one person is not benefiting more than the other. And we have the hangman, which is rooting. Hangman, again, waiting. If you find yourself super anxious in periods of quiet reflection, that is a sign that you need to spend more time in quiet reflection, because you shouldn't be that antsy or anxious and nervous, impatient when it comes to having to wait for answers. I'm kind of getting that somebody may, a partner or a karmic at this point, may be trying to maybe nitpick at you a little bit to try to force you to make a decision quicker. Or even if you find yourselves in like disagreements about something, then they're like saying things, I don't know how to word it. It's like an indirect way of making you expose what you're thinking. If it resonates with you, then you'll understand exactly the energy that I'm channeling here, because I can't really give an example, honestly, but it's like in the middle of arguing, they'll say things that are meant to like make you explain yourself. And with whatever information that you share while you're in the process of explaining yourself, they're building a way to be able to manipulate your decision making, like based off of what you said in that raw moment of self-expression. It's like that's giving them clues on like the things or the pressure points to push. Pressure points, chakras, is giving them clues on, your weaknesses and kind of a weak point where they can get you to fold. I don't even like that kind of manipulation. Like that's definitely karmic twin flame energy. If that's somebody that you're dealing with, that's a, do I unblock him or do I keep him blocked? That's a keep that person blocked. Like if, y'all trying to get together and, reunite, and that kind of pressure keeps coming up, that's something that's going to keep happening. Like if that always happens with you and a person, that's their personality. That's what they do. That's kind of how they get their way. And that's not something that you want to do when you are visualizing your life and your future with your own energy and what satisfies you. So again, get comfortable with pauses. Get comfortable with periods of reflection, prayer, and meditation. Not just talking to God, but actually sitting back and listening for an answer that's going to help you make the right decision moving forward. One that you won't regret, where you'll be happy with the ultimate outcome. So time is almost up. See y'all later.